Welcome back to Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime, where the fun never ends. Ever. For as long as someone keeps the internet open, these stories will keep ending up on websites, and I'll be right here to defend our sacred land. Unless I get a cold, at which point I'm out for like a week or two, but that was the last 2 weeks, and this is now. So let us get right down to business, as I tell you the tale of Haunted Ocarina of Time. Yes, you heard me. It's a haunted flute. To make things more terrifying, no one can decide on its pronunciation. Ocarina or Ocarina. Forums have debated such things since the dawn of time. So it's brave of you, author, so very brave, to discuss such matters. But not only is our author brave, he's not fucking around. He likes to get right into the action, and here's the first sentence in his story thing. I don't know. This is what happened. Since most people don't like to wait forever, I will just cut to the chase. Crazy talk, I know. It's never been done before, you say. But let's see how he pulls it off as we continue our journey through whatever the hell this is. I had finally got an N64, and it was a great thing to me. My childhood, to be exact. Not a child now, so doesn't do you much good, but, you know, we'll go with it. I was browsing this game on Amazon, then eBay. Neither was very helpful considering I don't have a PayPal. Me not smart before using internet, but I just decided to go to a local old pawn shop to buy the game myself, get my hands dirty and the whatnot. Okay, now this paragraph starts off with a bit of a challenge, so I'm gonna need you to bear with me. The number 3 WLT. I don't know what it is, but since I've only gotten about 3 hours of sleep, I'm gonna go off on a limb here and say that I don't care. But that, whatever the hell it is, was a good buy, says the author, because it wasn't expensive. It was only 20 bucks. It was still in its case, but he had not looked at the cartridge. Look at the author, throwing caution to the wind. There could be stickers all over that cartridge, but he doesn't care. Also, thank you for cutting to the chase with your story. You're doing really good so far. When I got home, I put it in the N64. I was excited to play it, seeming that it was my childhood game. I'm not at all weird, by the way. When I open the game, I find a note inside the booklet. The note said, and oh my god, here we go, here comes the plot. The note said, "How have you been?" To my surprise, there was a save file already on, you son of a bitch. What did you do with the plot? You just had it. Did you throw it away? My god, he really is cutting to the chase. He's cutting out those pesky parts of his story that he would have to explain later on in the story, so it's a good man. But, to my surprise, there was a save file already on it. The name was Paul. I presume that Paul was the old pawn shop guy that sold me the game, but I wasn't entirely sure. Don't know why I brought it up to the readers, but you know, so I went to a race. I start off the game with Navi talking to the Great Deku Tree. Guys just skipping through steps to get to the game. What did you name yourself? No one will ever know. Was it Paul? That aside, everything from there was fine, says author, and thank God. So I wait until Navi flies into Link's house to see if he wakes up. Well, she gets in Link, wakes up, but it appears that his eyes were not open. If I say enough words without using a period, someone might think that this is a sentence, he secretly thought to himself. But that was weird with the eye thing, because his eyes are open in Ocarina of Time, even when Link is sleeping. Not that the author was spying on him or anything like that. But I just ignore that, says author Kuhn, and figure that I might be wrong because he's just waking up. And yeah, sure, go with whatever the hell you say. You spell nice, you probably know what you're doing. After I get up and leave the tree, comma, I check my inventory. I was surprised to see 3 bottles in my inventory, because that's where I was looking. They were all empty, but I figure it was fine. Less of a challenge for me, implying it's such a fucking chore to get 3 bottles in Ocarina of Time, you sicken me. I get the sword and the shield, and now I'm on my way. After I get used to the controls again, what with them being very complicated, again, cutting to the chase, Breaking new grounds, I decided to head to the Great Deku Tree. As I walk through the path, nothing happens. It's just like this story. Everybody get under your desks. But the author swears that these plants, there were plants here, and they tried to attack you, but none of that happened. It was just an empty path. I think the audience can comprehend what nothing means now, Sensei-kun. Okay, well at least it seems easier, says author, being a lazy fuck. When I get to the Deku Tree, I see something behind one of its limbs, roots, as if there was something hiding there. I go to check it out, and it's actually a hole. But where would the hole lead to, the author says? Could it be the chase? Are we going to cut to it? Cutting to the chase? That thing you were talking about earlier in the beginning of the story? We're not going to do that? Okay, guy. That's fine. The hole behind the tree never appeared in Ocarina of Time. I was thinking, what could it be? Not a question mark. Me like statements. So I go. Through the hole, as I go down, I appear in a shallow puddle of water. Normally, that happens on Death Mountain. But I'm not knocking it, says the author, which is good, I guess. We don't have to explain it. I walk forward, in which seems like a very long path. A path that is very long. So, I turn sideways and start side jumping, and in parentheses, it's a quicker way to get around, and I hope all you listeners out there had your notepads out to write down that hot exclusive sweet author's speedrunning technique for your Let's Plays and whatnot. You heard it here first. He probably invented the fucking thing. And as the author long jumps his way out of the tunnel, like an expert, it appears on water. What appears? Nobody knows. I look around, says author, and not noticing anything, I turn around and I see Dark Link blocking the way back. It must have been him who appeared. Author walks up to him, and it gave him a talk option. When he talked to him, he said 3 individual sentences. Why are you here? Haven't you learned yet? I guess the pleasure's all mine. Then the screen went to black. For once, it would be great if the screen could go to a different color, but that would ruin this amazing atmosphere, so never mind. After a few seconds, a light was appearing. I went into it. It was a small surrounding of light. I like the word light. The rest of the room was darkness. I could hear Dark Link sounds all over the room. You guys know those Dark Link sounds, that loud asshole playing loud music and partying all over the place, I'm sure. And the author just wanted to escape, but he figures since he can't, he may as well fight. Also, I forgot to mention that this creepypasta was written before the invention of the start button, or the ability to turn off a console. I should have mentioned that earlier in the story. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, it's time to fight. So the author runs off into the darkness and starts slashing like crazy to make Dark Link jump on his sword. With those skills, the author is hands down one of the best tacticians I've ever seen in my whole goddamn life. When he does the animation, is a lot different this time. It's so different, he couldn't even spell it out of fear. He doesn't slash at Link, he stabs Link in the head, and Link loses all his hearts, and the death screen appears, then back to the file selection screen. It's a great fucking job. But uh-oh, the file for Paul was back this time, but his name was in all caps. Someone hit caps lock like they didn't even fucking care. This started to freak me out, author says, because, you know, big letters are scary and shit, but being oblivious to fear, which doesn't make sense because you just said that you were free. Never mind. Being oblivious to fear, I pick the file, of course you do. Suddenly, it starts me off in the Fire Temple. It's a big round platform on top of lava, but there's no exit and I'm all alone. Suddenly, rocks come out of the lava forming a bridge, so I decided to walk across the bridge. High octane action. The bridge went on for about 17 seconds or so. Give or take, ballpark it, we're not really sure. No one brought a stopwatch, nothing. Not sure about the time, says the author. Shouldn't have brought it up at all, says me. But at the end was a light. So I went through and I was suddenly at the start of Hyrule Field. For some reason. And I was very appalled at the sight of this, it was Dark Link standing right behind me. Now, how his sight became appalled without actually looking at Dark Link, we're not sure over here at the one-man creepypasta force center thing I have going on. But, we're gonna work on that and figure it out. But anyway, he was scared to see Dark Link. But the game gave him an option to talk to Dark Link. I didn't want to talk to him, but it was turning nighttime, so I decided to talk to him. Because at night, I get scared, so I talk to evil creatures. But he was very responsive this time. But it's as if of a question he had. What the fuck was that? I apologize for the technical difficulties. We had some translation problems on my end where I couldn't figure out what the hell I was reading. But Dark Link just wanted to talk. He wanted to ask a question. I figured it out. Crisis averted. And what did Dark Link have to say? Well, Dark Link wanted to know, had he encountered his fate? And this time the author said yes. His words were, wordy word, shall we? Then the screen went black again. 'Twas the only color they could afford. I heard screams from Link. I could also hear the sound from when you have nearly no hearts left. Then a word box appeared again. Remember this. I'm gonna. Then Zelda appeared with black eyes and was screaming. Then it put me back at the file selection screen. The two files were Paul was murdered. I posted this right after I played it. The time was Tuesday, August 21st at 12:07 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Glad you could provide all that information except the fucking year, you dick. But it was the worst experience of my life. Period. The story is over. Hopefully, everyone out there is still alive. But that was Haunted Ocarina of Time. I hope everyone enjoyed the stark change of pace that this author provided with his no-nonsense storytelling techniques and cutting to the chasery. We'll never forget you, whoever you are. This has been Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime. Thank you for watching. Hi everyone, Yuriofwind here, and welcome back to the adventures of Enslate. Last time on Enslate, I don't know, but this time on Enslate, hi, how's it going? You just watched a video that was a Bullshit Creepypasta Storytime on Haunted Ocarina of Time, and I hope you enjoyed that story. It was going to be up much sooner than it was, but things kept getting in the way, so I'm sorry about that. But enough of my problems, because that's what doctors are for. Let's get into the Senslate thing and talk about these other things of the videos that maybe you'd want to watch. I'm very sleepy if no one's noticed yet. One of the videos I'd like to recommend, one of the things I'd like to mispronounce is a video I did, the last video I did on this channel, which was a Gaming Mysteries on 12 Tales Conquer 64, or Conquer Bad Fur Day Beta. A lot of people wanted me to do that for a long time, so I did. And if you didn't see that, because I heard a bunch of people telling me that YouTube hasn't been sending out videos to subscribers, which wouldn't surprise me at all. There you go. And the other video I'd like to recommend is, let's say another part of my Let's Play of Corpse Party, which pretty soon we're going to be playing something else over on that other channel, but another part of that. Yeah, and besides that information, what else have I got to mention? Oh, I have a Twitter for updates, so like if I get sick and a video doesn't go up and you want to know why, I'll explain on there. But you don't have to follow me if you don't want to. It's, I'm throwing it out there. There's a link in the description though, or you can type in Yuriofwind and that works too. And as to the subscribe thing, you guys know, if you like the video and want to like it or anything like that, it's greatly appreciated. If you want to subscribe, of course, that's greatly appreciated too. But it's nothing I'll try and force upon any of you. But I do hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys liked it. I have more stuff planned for the month, or I should say going forward, of July. So I hope everything works out with that. But until then, I'll see you guys next time on Endslate.